Uh, Hello everyone. My name is Vineet, and our group name is Cloud Nation, and our project is inventory management system. Yeah, and these are the team members, and Ayodhya, like team leader, and Kavya, Q1, Revan, specialist, cloud specialist, Tushit, cloud application developer, Vineet, and it's QA specialist one, and Vinuta, cloud application designer. And this is our agenda. Like we are going to discuss the following points, everything included in this slide. Yeah, and basically, cloud-based inventory system is a critical component of any business that deals with the physical products. It involves a process of monitoring, tracking, controlling the company's inventory so that the raw materials, everything, the finished goods or whatever the goods, to keep them everything in check and ensures that the business has the customer demand and also minimizing the cost of carrying excess inventory. And in this presentation, we'll explore the importance of inventory management and how it can be optimized to enhance our business operations. Yeah. For coming to the life cycle of our software development is we kind of use the agile methodologies, but it is a kind of POC. So we have like continuation in continuous development and continuous integration and testing also. When it comes to the functional requirements, we are like inventory tag tracking, order management, and reporting. When it comes to non-functional requirements, we have the requirements of performance, security, and also the scalability, and also the reliability. Can I have? Yeah. And the next slide, which is going to take care by Vinuta, my teammate.
Thank you, Vinith. I will discuss about the project designing. A Cloud Nation inventory management system is designed to manage inventory to keep track of incoming and outgoing products. The system can be utilized in any industry since the product can be categorized based on our user needs. But this prototype, we have used the inventory for computer parts. When it's come to design, we have focused on building a system with main functionalities, and we have made sure that there is a capability of extending it any further according to the any future requirements we get. When we are designing this project, we thought of using the MySQL database. So that's what we have used as our backend repository. And also we use PHP to build the application. And both of them are hosted in EC2 instance, and it allows global access with user authentication. We use incremental designing model, and it will help us to do the parallel development. And finally, we were able to integrate each individual pieces together. System design mainly consists of two parts, such as database design and the application design. So from the beginning of this project, we developed each part using using the iterative waterfall method, because it provides us a flexibility to move back and forth and make any changes as needed. So since our project has two phases, I'll discuss about the database design later on, but our UI design has been done by Vinota. She'll continue from here onwards.
Hello everyone. I'll go through front end application design. So this is the login page of our inventory system. We can enter into we can log in into the inventory system by entering the email ID and the password. So yeah. Once we log in, we'll be directed to dashboard page, which has the logo and the three pages, which is orders, products, and vendors. So this is the image of the orders page. And then, Ayodhya, can you, yeah. Ayodhya, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. This is the products page where we will be able to modify and add the product, and also we'll be able to delete the product. And next, yeah. So when you could, yeah, next will be the vendor. This is the vendor page where we will be able to modify and update the vendors too. And next, yeah, this is the page where you will, this is the order page where you can select whatever you want and you can place the order. Next, yeah. You can select the vendor and hit on the place order. Yeah, we have an option to select the vendor and then hit on the place order. Okay. So next, my teammate Ayodhya will walk through to the database design.
Vinita, here I will discuss about our database designing in detail. So here our right hand side, we will be able to see the tables we have created in our database. So currently we have only 13 tables, but there's a capability of extending that with time being. So I'll go through some of the tables, go through in detail about some of the tables we use in the application. There are two kinds of tables. Some are used for the metadata, some are used for the application development. So first table is categories table. This table contained information about the different categories of the products. An order table contains information about the order that can be placed by users. An order item is a table which holds the individual item information that are part of an order. And also product category table contained information about the relationship between products and categories. So the product table is the next main table we have, which contains all the individual product information. And also we have a session table which control the application sessions, which we will be used to manage this, which we will be used to gain the access and manage the access control of the application. The user table is one other key table. That's where we create our new users and hold all user credentials. So that way we can we can give authorized access to the system instead of allowing anyone to access our application. The vendor table is the next main table, and it contains information about the different vendors, such as vendor information, such as a vendor name, supplier, products that they supplied, and the some valuable information related to contacting vendors in order to place new items. So failed job is one of the metadata table I have mentioned earlier. So whenever we have jobs running in our application side, in case there's any failure, this table will hold that failure error logs, which we will able to extract and use to identify the issues with the application. The migration table is one of other key tables we use to hold information when we are hosting the application in a different environment. And password reset tokens and password reset tables are key table, and personal access tokens are key table for access control. So password reset table contains information about tokens used to password reset request, and also password reset table consists of information about the password reset request. So personal access token is the table where we store the access tokens. That's how we keep the application up and running for given time period. If user has inactivity for a long time period, and this access control token will be expired. From here onwards, we will have some screenshots about the screenshots from our database. First, I created the database called IMS HEMO. So in the data, once we create the database, we can use the US IMS HEMO command to access that database. And after that, we have executed the scripts to create tables. So here we have the screenshot of some tables, some of the main tables we created. And the next screenshot also has the rest of the tables we have created in the system. Once we created tables, and we will be in this script, we can see the primary key constraints and foreign key constraints we have enforced to make sure we have the integrity between tables. And once we created all the tables, we inserted some sample data. So initially, when I developed this database, I added this sample data because since we are developing the application, we won't have capability to insert data through the application yet because we were still working on that. So now, by inserting this sample data, we were able to get going the application when we are creating it. Here is the in this screenshot, we will see the rest of the table sample data insertion. And the last screenshot, we will be able to see the simple select queries from couple of tables we have in our database just to see how it looks like. And as I mentioned earlier, we have distributed our application design into two main parts: system designing and the database designing. So the system, when it's come to system designing part, we mainly focus on 9 different functionalities, which are keeping track of inventory levels, managing order and shipments, and also we have created a facility to generate report for supply management, and also we have forecasting inventory needs in case, like if we want to get the inventory history, we have capability of doing that. And also managing the item information is one other function we have implemented. Also, stock transfer management also available in our system. So that allows stock transfers between inventory locations to ensure that inventory is accounted for efficient management. And reporting is one other feature we have currently, which will have the capability of creating the multiple different reports. But going forward, we will be adding views to the database so user can extract the report easily by executing those views through the front-end application. And security is the other feature we have enforced to make sure that there's no unauthorized access to our system. In this slide, we discuss about the timeline. So since we planned our project for, from entire April month to May 6th, so these are the main steps we splitted: project planning, designing our application, and also we have the implementation phase, testing, and the documentation. So this is how we distributed our work throughout this time period. Next topic will be the development task. My team member Pusit will continue from here onwards.
Most popular PHP frameworks, Laravel, and some supporting packages, JavaScripts, and for the styling, I use Bootstrap and data tables. So as at the top side, we use MySQL database instance on EC2. So this is the basic plan for the application. So there are models, controllers, and views. So as you see, user controller, user model, products and the categories, product in category, vendor, order, items in order. Those are the models that are used in the application. And for the controllers, product controller, vendor, category, order, login, and user. Login, I will a little bit talk about the login controller in a minute. and we have views, login view and dashboard, user registration, and user profile. So from here, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Sorry about that. So this is the login page. So you can use your credentials and log into the system here. So I wanted to explain, we are using two user groups at this moment, admin and managers. So admin has all the capabilities, adding, for example, if you talk about products, adding products, managing products, and deleting products. Those all three functionalities are allowed for admin, but for manager, it will allow only modifying products. So that's not only related to products for vendors and putting an order and other stuff as well. So they have limited access. I will show you how I allow that, the permission. So this is the routes that I set up. So here, there's a middleware implemented. So that middleware will validate the authentication, getting the username and password is going to be validated with the data that we stored in the database. And if it is valid, it will create a session ID in the application. So that session ID will be valid for 2 hours. Sorry. Within that 2 hours, like if there is no activity on the application window, the session going to be expired, other than the session going to be removed. So as you see here, for all the functionalities for all products, profiles, and vendors are set up here. So as you see, update, delete, and creating vendors, and update, delete, and creating products. So those are the routes I set up here. So in this phase, if we go to granular level, we can manage access to each and every interface. I mean, each and every view from the route level as well. But since we are still developing, this is kind of a prototype, I manage that access through the controller. So if you go to the controller, and it will identify what kind of a user you are. So it will identify the user group, and based on the user group, the view, dashboard view will manage what options each user can be done. For example, let me show you the add products. So add product, there's a validation if this is allowed only if user group is one, that user group is admin, user group ID is one. So that's an example for the login controller and the route and how we manage access further. So I'm just planning to change those down the way when we get into the second phase of this project. So this is the login landing page. As you see here, so here you can see your username and logout option. So the initial view, you can see all the orders that we created, and here's the products and vendors. And I'm going to show you just 3 examples: adding product, and modify, and delete. So first of all, I'll show you how our database is right now. Select all from products. Select. So these are the items that currently we have in our table. I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to add a SSD 100 TB hard drive. So I'm select the category as storage. SSD hard drive. And so I'm going to set price as $300, and we're going to get in stock about 50. So I'm going to add the item. So you will get the confirmation product added successfully. And if you go to products, 100 TB hard drive is added over here. So let's check running our query to make sure that products we can see here. As you see, the product ID 25 is added. And in the same way, I'm going to modify that. So I'm going to update the quantity as 100 and click on Save Changes. That will update the quantity we have in the warehouse. So it's updated 100. Let me check the query. So as you see, it's 100 right now. And the last thing, sorry, I'm going to delete this product. So this is not a soft delete, it's going to be a hard delete. And in the future, I'm just planning to add soft delete on this case. So we are not going to lose any product information from our table, just we can manage the view, filter out what current active items we have available on the warehouse. So I'm going to click on delete. So we got the confirmation product removed successfully. And let's go see to the table. So as you see here, so 100 TB item is removed. And let me check on the table as well. As you see, product ID 25 is not there anymore. So in the code base, I want to show you something related to that confirmation as well. And for each and every product managed, I was using product controller and product model. Let me show you my product model that I created. So this is the product model. So we have properties of ID, name, description, price, and quantity. And this is going to be related to product category table as well. So it's linked all together. So that's how this model created. And let me go to the controller. Products controller right here. So this is the creating new product functionality. So it will get the whole request and filter out name, description, price, and quantity and category. Like that. So we will filter out the ID over here. So the new row will be created on the table, and we will get the product ID. And using that ID, we are going to create another new row in the product category, product in category table. And here it will returning the success message. It's creating a session object actually. That session object will be displayed on the front page. So in the future, I'm just planning to create the response in the JSON object. And right now, I'm not implemented the error handling functionality here. So I'm gonna wrap up this function within a proper error handle function as well. So we can properly return a JSON object with the code of the status code and a reason, or like success or any related message that we can display. Because if we use the JSON object format, that's going to be really helpful if we turn this application into an API interface as well. Because API interface always like expecting JSON format, so easily we can manage all the transactions and the communication between the foreign application and our main application as well. So as I show you earlier, the routes, this web.php, this file will explain all the routes for the application itself. And there is API PHP. This is how I created routes for the API interface. So the API interface route is I created, but port is still closed. I closed it for security reasons, and it is available for further development. And when we expand our application, so which will allow us to expand this application to a integrate in a third-party web application or in a mobile application. So this is the order form, and in this order form, a few validations I added. So you can see all the items that we have in the products table here, and the price name. Then, for example, if we take CPUs, let's see how many items we have. The quantity is 50. So if you try put more than 50 items over here, it will not allow you to do that because there's a validation. So you cannot select more than the quantity that we have in our inventory. So that's created over there. And also, I think like those validations and how the order managed will be discussed by our teammates in the future. So this is how everything created. And also, like when you click log out, so your session key that is generated at the login, which is stored in cookies, will be deleted and or maybe going to be expired. So that's how application, the basic functionality of this application is set up. Let me go to the slide. Can you please share this slide, please?
Yes. Myself, Kavya. Now I'm going to discuss about integration and testing. In integration testing, first we will identify the modules of the inventory management system, web application that we are currently using that needed to be integrated first, and next develop the test cases that validate the interactions between the modules. And next we will use the testing framework, which will helpful to automate the integration testing process. After that, we will run all the test cases to make sure that the modules are integrated correctly or not. At last, we will fix any issues that are identified during the testing process. Next, we will talk about unit testing. It's similar, but first we will identify the individual units or components of the inventory management system web application. And next we will develop the test cases which are valid for the functionality. And next we will use a testing framework to automate all the unit testing process. And after that, we will run the test cases to ensure that each unit is running function correctly or not. Yeah, at last we will fix any issues that we identify during the testing process. And can you move to the next slide? Yes, here I have logged in with my credentials and it will redirect to this dashboard. And here I have clicked on vendors page. Here we can modify or delete the items in the list. And can you move to the next slide, please? I will click on the add vendor. We will get this dialog box and we need to fill up the details of the vendor. Here I have gave vendor name as Amazon, address line, and city, state, and zip code. After that, I will add all these vendor details. And in the next, we will get a message as vendor got successfully updated. Yes, can you move to the next slide, please? Yes, here we can able to modify and we can able to delete it as well. So here I choose the option to delete, and in the next we can easily see that vendor removed successfully. If you want to delete it, got deleted successfully. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yes, and we can even search the item by using the search box. Here I have searched by the name of Best Buy. It got filtered and it produced the details of Best Buy that I have produced in a screenshot. This is about the orders. So I just selected the vendor sorry, I just selected the item in this. I didn't select the vendor. So a pop-up message got produced as please select an item in this list. So after clicking on the placed order, by not selecting the vendor, yes, we will get a pop-up message as order is empty and please select items and proceed. So I have ordered one item. So in this next slide, we can see this. Yeah, the vendor is of this report. So I have placed an order with that. So we can see a message called order placed successfully. Yes, and I will hand over to Vineet.
Hey, thanks, Kavya. And as you can see in the image, I've tested this login page. When you give the credentials of email and a password of like wrong credentials, if it doesn't match our database, it gives a message that your credentials are wrong. Then in the next image, you can see that if I give the credentials and if I hit the login, then yeah, we'll enter the dashboard. Then that's a successful login. Yeah, here. Ayodhya, can you do the next? Yeah, can you stop here? Yeah, this is the products page, and as you can see, I'm trying to add a new product. When you hit the button add product, yeah, it successfully popped up the window to add a product. Then you can add the name, its category type and description, the price and the quantity, and then you can successfully save that. Yeah, yeah. Can you? Yeah. Then when we hit the button add, then it shows a message like product added successfully to the user. And can you change? Yeah. I just in this slide, I want to just test I want to update the product which we added recently, the iPhone 14. Then I'm changing the price here and the quantity, and I've hit the save changes, and it gives a message to the user that the product is updated successfully. Yeah. Ayodhya, can you to the next slide? Yeah. And in this slide, I just want to delete the product which I have added previously, and hit the delete button. Then again, it shows the product has been removed successfully. Okay. Yeah, in this slide, I am just testing the search of the iPhone 14. So it gives it filters the whole table of like there are like 13 entries in this, and it just shows the products of related to iPhone 14, which is iPhone 14, 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max. And and the next page, it's I'm showing this pagination, where we selected to show only the 10 entries. So there are like total 13 entries. So I'm showing only the first 10 in the page 1, and in the next page you can see there is there's a page of second page where I'm showing the remaining 3, and the pagination is working very good. Yeah, can you show me the next slide? Yeah, I've logged out of the admin page and I've logged in and as a normal user, and where you can see there is like no delete option, no these because we haven't given any access to the non-admins, so you can't delete a page. Yeah, and this is the page of the test cases which I've discussed, like adding a new product, deleting, editing, and removing and searching, and these are the test cases. Yeah, Yadya, can you move to the next slide? Yeah, and the implementation, which will be discussed by my teammate Revant. Revant, can you continue?
Yeah, thank you, Vinit. Yeah, hello, my name is Revant, and when coming to the implementation, once our source code has been pushed to the GitHub, the next step is to set up an Amazon EC2 instance and clone our repository onto it. This can be typically done by creating a new EC2 instance, selecting an appropriate Amazon machine image. In this case, we have taken Ubuntu and configuring the instance settings such as instance type and security groups, and then accessing the instance using SSH. Once you logged into the instance, you can then clone your repository on the instance and begin configuration and deploy your application. To get our project up and running, the EC2 instance, we first need to install MySQL onto the instances. This involved accessing the instance using SSH and then using package management tools like apt or yum to install MySQL. Once MySQL was installed, then configured it with the appropriate settings and configuration that we had previously set up in our project. With the MySQL database up and running, we were able to start our project on the EC2 instance and using the database for storing and retrieving the data as needed. Can you move to the next slide, Ayodhya? Yeah, here it is where the EC2 instance I have created by using the AWS console. This is the setup like EC2 instance. Okay. Yeah, the next slide here. Yeah, as you can see here, there is a status called running the project on Amazon Web Services EC2 instance. Here the status shows as running, so our application is running here. So these are the security groups we have added in our according to our application standards. So these are the security groups. One is HTTP and another one is MySQL and Aurora, and next is these are all IPv4 version, and these are the port numbers. As you can see here, we have 20 and rest of the port numbers. Yeah, can you go on to the next slide? So once everything is done, the application is running live by using the Amazon Web Services console. So this is about this is all about we have done. Yeah. The next final evaluation and future work will be explaining by one of the teammate Vinuta.
Thank you, Raymond. So coming to final evaluation and future works, the cloud-based inventory management system provides numerous advantages, such as accessibility. It can be accessed from anywhere with an internet connection, making it easier for business. And it is a cost-effective, scalability and automation. Scalability in the sense like our inventory system can be easily scale up or down based on the needs of the business, allowing business to adjust their inventory management system as their business grows. Automation. Our inventory management system can automate many inventory related tasks such as ordering, receiving, and tracking inventory, which saves business time and reduces the risk of human error. Coming to the future work, could you please go to next slide?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Future works. And despite the benefits of cloud-based inventory management system, there is still room for improvement. Here are some potential areas for future work, such as inventory integration with other systems, artificial intelligence and machine learning, real-time data, sustainability, blockchain, and augmented reality.
feedback about our application, and it will be helpful for us to do the future development and extending our product to do many more tasks that will be needed for our future improvements. And also, I would like to thank my entire team for participating on building this application. And we, as a team, I believe we made the successful product as our first prototype. And thank you for everyone, those who watch our video.